Jaylen Brown recently, like a few days ago, after one of the Celtics' many victories they did lose to the Jokic-less Nuggets last night, but the Jokic-less Nuggets, maybe a topic for another day, they've been awesome.
Yeah.
But
they're chugging along.
Jaylen Brown recently said he thinks he is the best two-way player in the game. I will turn the mic over to you and just tell me, is he right? If not, who?
He's playing like the best two-way player in the game right now, I'll say right now he is putting together like a very classic case for MVP. Like this is a career-long number 2 guy that gets to slide into the number 1 role. He's playing on a team that has like no expectations, and he is leading them to I think they have the best defense in the East. He's shooting his true shooting percentage is 60%.
Yeah, it's insane. They have the best point differential in the
point
East.
differential. Yeah. That's what it is. He's shooting, I think 60% on long twos, mid-range shots. He is guarding the other team's best player. He has that 50-point. Defending Kawhi, shutting him down, win over the Clippers.
Apparently asked Joe Mazzulla specifically to guard Kawhi.
Such a statement game. He is having a very classic MVP run right now. And I think only in the last few weeks, I think the 50-point game obviously helped people open their eyes to it. But I think only now is he kind of getting the recognition for that. And don't look now, but the Celtics are amazing. They're playing so well. Jason Tatum could come back before the season's out. If you told me today that the Celtics are in the finals and competing for a championship in June, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, no, and again, I don't think he's the best two-way player in the game. Yeah. I think SGA or Giannis or one of those guys. But I'm not going to sit here and fault Jaylen Brown for the confidence because guess what? That roster that he's got playing at a 52-win pace and currently 3rd in the East is a roster that me and a lot of other people thought was going to be a play-in team at best and was probably more suited to a gap year and a tank year in Boston. And he's got that roster, and it's not just him. I know Derek White and Payton Pritchard and Joe Mazzulla, the psycho that he is. All those guys deserve credit. But Jaylen Brown has done the most to take what I thought was a play-in roster at best, if not a tanking roster, and turn them into what looks like a legit East contender, the 3rd-place team, the best point differential. By the way, their offense, number 2 in the league in efficiency, is scoring more efficiently than last year's Tatum-led attack did when they had both Tatum and Brown. I never thought I'd be able to say that. Even if you go by comparing it to the league average in a given season, still more efficient. Jaylen Brown is 3rd in the league in usage rate behind only Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic, and yet he's scoring more efficiently than ever. It's just insane. I was never necessarily a Jaylen Brown doubter, but I definitely had my doubts if you had asked me if he'd be able to elevate to this level. He was the number 1 guy in a team. I'd be like, yeah, he'd probably put up numbers, but it'd probably be inefficient, and his team would be a 39-win team. No, he's doing it for, again, a team that could be a top 3 seed, a 50-plus win team, elite offense, to increase his usage the way he has while also increasing his efficiency and not really giving anything up on the other end. It's blown my mind, and so I give him all the credit in the world, and though I don't agree that he's the best two-way player, it's who the hell are we to tell him not to say it? Because I'd think the same way if I was playing.
For sure, for the last 20 games, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's everything too. I will say also, and I've never been a big Jaylen Brown guy, just personally, but it's the shooting is what stands out, and it's unbelievable. It looks like he's gotten better with the handle or more crafty. He's creating his own offense, which to me was kind of the thing that I guess the good shooting helps you because you're creating space, and then, it's a little bit easier to create your own shot. But I would have thought that their offense would have really struggled with that aspect of it, just because Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum's ball handling is so essential to what they do generally. But they're playing so well. As a team, they're just shooting the lights out, which is, again, if he's the point of attack guy, he deserves a ton of credit for that.
Yeah.
It really is crazy, and he's really kind of transformed his game all the way around, and I'm just honestly shocked.
Yeah, and I'll say too, I don't think it's crazy for people to be talking about him in the MVP race, because if you had asked me a few weeks ago, I would have been okay, no, it's Jokic or SGA, and these other guys great players, but they can have a cute little conversation for who's going to get 3rd place on that
We basically did have this exact conversation a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Now Jokic is hurt and probably won't reach the 65-game threshold, a dumb rule in its own right. We can save that for another day. SGA, to me, has still been the best player in the game, and he's still the best player on the best team. But the Thunder have looked very pedestrian the last few weeks. And if SGA is doing what he's doing for a 70-plus record-breaking team, he's cruising to the MVP award. If SGA is doing that for a Thunder team, all of a sudden people think are disappointing and have outperformed expectations and there's voter fatigue because he got it last year, that all of a sudden opens the door for a guy like Jaylen Brown having this season for a 50-plus win team that had no business being in that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think him playing for the Celtics also helps. Like, I think that's a big one. Because then all of a sudden, like, don't look now, but maybe you're looking at like a Lakers, Celtics, Luka, Jaylen Brown, like 1 and 2 for the MVP. Like, that might be popping up. And if he's, you know, if the Celtics finish second or if the Celtics finish first in the East, like, I'm not ruling that out. Like, you have to give a long, hard look at him for MVP, which I think is kind of fascinating because the other day, Ashton from Swish Cultures asked him, you know, because he's been doing the streaming thing. Yep. She was kind of like, what do you think the media is doing wrong? And he was complaining about narratives. And I kind of think we're going to hit a point here where he's going to really benefit from media narratives. Yeah. So I just think that's going to be a fascinating twist of fate for him.
Yeah. Also, no disrespect to Jaylen Brown. I don't know if he knows what narratives mean. Like some of the things he has said on his Twitch or whatever stream he's using there.
Oh my God, stuff about Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, I just wouldn't. Yeah. Also, I remember when he misspelled Naismith while trying to make a point on his shoes. Do you remember that?
Yes, of course I do.
There are things with Jaylen Brown where I'd be like, all right, listen, maybe not call this guy a genius.
Excellent basketball player. Yeah.
Celtics should be very thrilled with him right now. Before we get out of here, last question. My episode of Unfiltered coming out Friday is all about the Celtics and this Jaylen Brown season and what they're doing and Joe Mazzulla and the door being left open for a potential Jason Tatum return. Very simply, if Jason Tatum returns and returns at whatever level you would think he returned at, obviously it's not going to be like all-NBA first-team superstar the moment he steps back, but whatever you think Jason Tatum could give them in a playoff run this year, he returns the way Brown and the Celtics are playing right now. Are they the favorite? Or at the very least, are they the East favorite? Or do you still think that's putting too much pressure on Tatum?
I think, See, the problem with that is like, it depends when he returns. So let's say he returns with enough lead time that they kind of figure it out. Because what I imagine is Tatum being a team guy, being the guy he is. I imagine he's willing to step in and be like, Jaylen, do your shit. I'm going to be the second guy, and I'm happy being the second guy. And if he's like, you know, spot up shooting, creating offense when they need it, like that's a huge lift to them. If they go out and get another big guy at the deadline, then I would be fully willing to say Jaylen Brown plus Jason Tatum plus, you know, new big center to kind of like paper over what has been honestly shockingly good.
Yeah. Neemias Queta and Luka Garza.
Playing the best basketball of his life right now. Yeah, absolutely. Sign me up. Like, I don't believe in any of the other teams in the East to the degree that I wouldn't be willing to toss the Celtics over them.
I'm going to say if Jason Tatum comes back in whatever form that is, the Celtics are the runaway favorite in the East. Sorry, New York. Sorry, Detroit, too. And yeah, I could very easily see them winning the title. Like, I would probably still pick the Thunder, all things considered, but like to me at that point, it's like they are clearly the number 2 team in the league. And
sure.
Again, I'm saying that about a team that 2 months ago I would have told you was a play-in team at best. I would have said they would be insane to bring Tatum back this year for what would be a play-in team at best. And instead now I'm thinking they'd be insane not to bring him back if he's been medically cleared, because chances to win titles don't grow on trees, and they might actually have one. This is insane.
Oh, yeah, and like legitimately, I think like a Tatum return at like 70% swings the potentially, like definitely swings the East, no question.
Yep.
Potentially swings the championship picture. Which to your point about windows, this is a team that is, I think, getting to the point where they're trying to shed salaries. They have luckily they shed a couple salaries last summer, and it like 2 guys that basically have not played this year, which is, you know, worked out for them, I guess. But like this is like there's very little time left, I think, on this Tatum Brown duo. So to have it go this way, like we're looking at a very like potential like storybook situation, like storybook for a Celtic hater myself. No, but for, you know, the actual Celtics and for Boston, like this could end up being like a really amazing sports story.